To kick off our event today and provide welcoming remarks, allow me to introduce San Francisco's newest rock star, Mayor Ed Lee. Mayor Lee has already shown, I think, in the 3 months that he's been mayor, that he's actually a natural for a job. I've known him for, I think, close to 2 decades. And he's been the head of the Human Rights Commission. He went on to become the city purchaser. He went on, Mayor Brown appointed him to be the director of public works for San Francisco, and then several years as city administrator. Now, I would have had to say, I never would have thought that Ed Lee would be mayor of San Francisco, because he's such a can-do kind of person. He functions so well. He's such a great problem solver, but I never thought of him as a person running a political institution, and San Francisco is certainly that. But in a very short time, he's shown tremendous prowess in the job. I think he's perfect for it. And most recently, I guess concluding today with another vote at the Board of Supervisors, his move to keep Twitter headquartered in San Francisco was really a big thing, and it showed a major commitment on San Francisco to keep jobs here, and I want to thank Mayor Lee for stepping up and doing that. Obviously, you know, San Francisco goes, in many ways, so goes the region, and I think it's really important that the work that Ed Lee is doing, if there's some way we can convince him to stay on, you know, your suggestions are welcome. But we're very, very pleased that he's taking time out of his busy day to come and address the Bay Area Council and provide welcoming remarks. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, welcome San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee.
Good morning. Thank you, Jim, for that wonderful introduction. And I just wanted to preface it by saying, you know, when you get a call and you're in Hong Kong, you're trying to rest, and that call comes from former Mayor Willie Brown, it's hard to say no. But I have taken up this challenge, and I am glad to be here this morning, and also to thank you, members of the Bay Area Council, for your tireless work in constantly improving the quality of this region. And it's significant that such an impressive group of business leaders have come together this morning around the critical issues of the Bay Area: education, infrastructure, and sports. There's no issue more important today than the Bay Area's ability to compete and win business in the global economy. In San Francisco, creating and retaining jobs has been my top priority, because that's what keeps families in San Francisco and helps them thrive. We are leading the way here from education to healthcare and the environment. In the past 3 months since I've become your mayor, we've made significant progress in making sure that our business climate is alive and welcoming. Let's begin with our central market payroll tax exclusion. Yes, we've got a very important final vote today that allows us really to refresh our efforts to rebuild Mid-Market Street. And that is with a company that's so important, the Twitter company. But also, it's not just Twitter. Twitter knows that they are going to be an anchor for us, and they are already attracting other businesses, such as Burning Man, the cultural arts. You're going to see these cultural arts agencies come alive along Mid-Market. That is what we're trying to do. We're making those improvements to encourage business to continue coming to the area, building a foundation for financial security, and improvements to the whole area. The city is also working on improving blight. Just last week, as we had the very first vote on the mid-market payroll tax exemption, not celebrating just because it's Twitter, we walked together with Twitter, with the Shorenstein Group, walked along mid-market, and began at the new substation on 6th Street, the police substation, because we're going to make that place safe for everybody. You're going to be able to walk that street and not feel the traditional fears that we felt before. We're going to improve the blight, improve public safety in the area, and I'm glad to be joined by so many great supporters and advocates to help in this revitalization effort. Market Street is an integral component to our unique and diverse makeup of our city of San Francisco. And the city is moving forward to make sure that it once again becomes the bustling central locale for innovation and creativity. We are also obviously thrilled with Twitter joining us on Central Market, because that part and that stretch is going to really be open for change. And you know, I kind of think it's neat, not just to have Twitter there, but as you know, and as events unfolded throughout the world this past beginning year and last year, you saw the product of Twitter changing world events all across this international stage. So it's kind of neat to say, after today, after 3 o'clock today, to simply announce that Twitter is made and engineered in San Francisco for the 400 million users across the world. That's going to be neat to say from here on. Thank you very much for your support on that. And of course, just last week, we simultaneously announced that Burning Man will be moving into the Bay Area, and already I'm already tickled with some invitations to go to Burning Man this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But they've just announced, and we've just announced, a 5-year lease with over 19,000 square feet to be located at 995 Market Street. That's another wonderful follow-up. And there'll be more to come. As you know, Twitter has many other firms that will follow them. They want to be there with the creativity. They will come to mid-market as well. So these are great additions that we have in the works. It's also no surprise that the 34th America's Cup is going to San Francisco, coming here in 2013. And we are hard at work in preparing that event. As you know, we announced the People Plan, the plan that will move some 200,000 people every single day. We announced that on March 31st. And with just 2 years out, we're aggressively trying to meet our commitments for this spectacular 2013 event. We're trying to set a new standard with this People Plan movement, because we know that not only moving 200,000 people will be a challenge, but sustaining the ability to move great events, events that we host in the city, will constantly be our challenge. We are aiming to make the 34th America's Cup the most transit, bicycle, and pedestrian-friendly major sporting event in our history, and we're focused on 4 organizing principles: resource efficiency, environmental sustainability, strategic adaptability, and a positive legacy. Anything we build must last a long time beyond America's Cup event. And we also want to do it the San Francisco way. We want to make sure all of our neighborhoods, whether it's Chinatown, whether it's the Mission, whether it's North Beach, whether it's our Southeast sector, all connect up to this fantastic event. By beginning our transportation planning more than 2 years in advance of these races, we are engaging transit advocates, neighbors, and the public, beginning to ensure that we meet transportation needs of the races as well as our city residents and commuters for all this time. We're doing this, as I said, the San Francisco way, in partnership with the public and our stakeholders as we incorporate their feedback in the final document. And the transportation plan, the People Plan, is up on the website already. We'll wait until the end of May before we publish the final document. But we'll have in between now and then a great amount of feedback and make sure that we get input from all across our city. We're leveraging resources and enthusiasm to set new standards, and we will leave a positive long-term legacy. And let me reinforce that America's Cup is about bringing thousands of jobs to San Francisco and generating revenue for our city. We're also working on one of the hardest topics not only we are facing, not only the region is facing, but the state of California is facing. That is pension reform. I'm working hard with city staff, labor groups, and my budget team to help balance our budget. One of those pressing issues that we have to deal with today is to ensure that our city remains solvent through the hard economic times like the ones we are still facing, and that challenges us to make sure we are reforming our pension system. I've still got everybody at the table, and we are about to launch into our meet and confer for the next few weeks, but it is our hope and it is my objective to make sure that the city family stays together and that we produce one solid, simple-to-read ballot measure in November, and that we make sure that the changes we have in our pension reform are long-term, that we fix it, and we fix it for everybody and for generations of employees to come, so they'll have a dignified pension system to work with. This all ties us back to investing in our neighborhoods and in our communities. With a solvent city, we can provide vital city services and make the proper investments to keep our families in our city. And Jim, I want to make sure you hear this, because I want San Francisco to be the northern terminus for high-speed rail for this whole state, and we are committed to doing that. We're going to make sure that high-speed rail ends at our Transbay Terminal, the most beautiful terminal you'll ever see in your lifetimes. And with that, let me say this. I'm working hard to keep the unity of the city together. And I find every single day from all the corners of this fantastic city, people are telling us they want jobs. They want the dignity to be reflected in having a good job. And I can't do it without making sure we have unity at our Board of Supervisors. So I am very mindful that every single day I've got a private meeting with each member of the Board of Supervisors, a different member, every other day, talking to them about what they need, treating them with respect, and making sure the dialogue is open. And this newfound unity will help me as I enter this afternoon in my first 1-hour discussion with the Board of Supervisors. Wish me luck. Because I do think that we need positive dialogue in the city. The fraction times are over with. We need unified dialogue here. And I, being a non-politician, have absolutely every faith that this unity will bring about the success that we are known for. And by the way, go Giants. Let's have another World Series in this city. We can handle it. Thank you very much.